Yo, what's up guys? So we finally have a new boss monster for the Battle Wasp, aka the Bee Force. But anyways, this is a new level 12 wind synchro with 3,000 attack and 800 defense points. It is a wind, and its name is the Battle Wasp Ballista, the Armageddon. But anyways, to actually summon it, you don't actually need a Battle Wasp, but it just requires you to have a tuner and 1+ non-tuner monsters. And its first effect is, if it's special summoned, you can banish all insect monsters in your graveyard, and all monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack and defense for each of your banished insect monsters. The second effect is, if it attacks a defense position monster, you to inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. And then the third effect is, if this Synchro Summon card is destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon 3 of your banished level 11 or lower insect monsters. Okay, so let's go ahead and just talk about all the effects. And I want to make the video kind of specifically on the Battle Wasp because, well, the stuff that we might be getting in the future as far as looking at like some of the anime cards, I don't know, man. It doesn't look like this archetype has really any chance as of right now, but again, later support might make it more viable. So anyways, their first effect is not too bad because you can run like Doomdozer, right? You can start banishing stuff and you could just get extra additional attack because it's not banished by this effect. It's just for each of your banished insect monsters. If you have to banish a bunch of them, you'll have a lot of damage reduction. But obviously, if this monster stays up on board, pretty much you're going to use at least 3 monsters to summon this card. And at that point, you're looking at like 4,500 attack if you kind of want to see it that way, because you'll be banishing usually at least 3 to bring it out in the first place. But the piercing, okay, that's kind of nice. But the third effect is insane if you read it, but then you look at all the insects, which I kind of did for you guys, and I was like, well, looking at 11, because it has to be level 11. It does not count ranks. Not that it matters, but you can't really go for the pain gainer. You look at this, and if you want to go for that Earthbound Battle Wasp build, by all means, go ahead and do that. Like the only card, if you run like the Miko with the World Chalice engine, like I've seen people do it with a special summon like the double level 9s, but like, are you really gonna do that in Battle Wasp? Probably not, because most of the Battle Wasp stuff says you can only go for like insect type monsters, and so there's a lot of downsides obviously with this whole archetype, but nonetheless really isn't that many great targets. There is Scary Moth, that is a card that doesn't let either what is it, I think it's, is it a 6 or a 5. It's just it has like 1800 attack. What is it, Scary Moth, does it change the name of it? But there is one. Maybe we go to this card. This is like the only like viable like target that I was looking at. Yeah, each player can only special summon monsters once per turn. Like maybe if you brought back that card, but they're already in battle phase. They're running over this thing anyways. I just don't see any really good viable like insect targets that would make it really competitive in this deck. But nonetheless, again, we might be getting things later down the line. But to get 3 of your just banished monsters that are 11 or lower, you can obviously go into things later if, of course, they survive. And that is, of course, if they actually destroy this. It should have been, like, in your possession is gone. It would have been just much better. Now, looking at the future of, like, this guy's other, because this is the guy from the anime that actually runs Battle Wasp. Looking at the other cards, because I wanted to see, like, what can we look for in the future for Battle Wasp, because sometimes they just take the cards and they just translate them over. Sometimes we get buffed effects, sometimes we get nerfed effects, but Pin the Bullseye, not going to be very viable to do 200 burn damage. The whole archetype is basically around doing some minor amount of burn damage. But this one over here, Battle Wasp Halberd the Charge. Again, these are anime cards. They could be coming out later down the line. It's just kind of a preview of what may come to the archetype. But anyways, if it attacks an opponent's monster with higher attack than this card, that monster's attack becomes half its current attack during damage calculation only. This card could be okay. Because obviously you're able to get over majority of things, but it looks like it has 2,500 attack, 800 defense on this one. But I thought this card was kind of interesting, but it kind of counteracts, of course, the new Battle Wasp boss monster card, the Armageddon. How this card works, Dart the Hunter. If a Battle Wasp monster you control destroys an opponent's monster in battle, you can send this card from your hand to graveyard to inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack the destroyed monster had on the field. It should have been in the grave. Why was this not there? If they change that effect, this could be a lot better, because not only do you have like a strong monster that can reduce everything, but then you can just inflict the full amount of damage. This archetype would be looking a lot better. Again, just going into the archetype for the Battle Wasps, if you just like look at it, the archetype is super underdeveloped. we only have a few cards, and I don't see anyone really covering. That's why I wanted to go over some of the other Battle Wasp cards, just because it might give you guys some hope for the archetype. Of course, we'll have to wait later down the line to see what we get. But I mean, the rapid fire is not bad, because this card has the effect if it in its owner's possession is destroyed. That you can just special summon a battle. So it should have been like if its owner's possession was just like leaves the field, it should have had that effect. The archetype would have been so much better. But again, like having this effect where you get to attack twice, and you can only go for insect monsters. That's like the biggest problem I think with the Battle Wasp. You can only go for insects, and on top of that, the whole archetype is seriously underdeveloped. But anyways, I figured I'd cover the new card because I did want to make a video specifically on Battle Wasps in the future. If you guys got any good replays of Battle Wasps, I would love to see them. Please send them into AzneyesReplays@gmail.com because I don't think anyone is really willing to play this deck. Even with this new boss monster, which is supposed to like bring people and get people excited, they should have released other support alongside with this, because even just with this card, I don't see Battle Wasp becoming very strong. But maybe in one more day, we'll get that new insanely good Battle Wasp support. But anyways, let me know, guys, what you thought of the new Battle Wasp boss Synchro monster. And if you're new to the channel here, hit that subscribe button to see an updated video on the Battle Wasp, maybe when they actually get more cards so we can play them. But again, they hyped it up over on their Twitter page, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like the effect is meh. But let me know, guys, how you feel about it down below. I mean, the third effect is insane. But again, you're going to have to wait for it to be destroyed, and then on top of that, you're going to have to attempt to survive that turn. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And at the end of the day, you're still playing Battle Wasp, man. But again, you could go for this guy over here, and he'll be able to definitely allow you to survive. That's the rapid fire, so you can kind of stall out. But his effect is once per anyways. I don't know. The whole archetype, I don't know. We'll have to wait. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out, and I'm signing out.